Great to see you all here. The MAVA Academy leaders, Mugli team, and I are super excited to spend this hour with you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Rosie, for your support and the EMCC for this opportunity. I really would like to welcome you to the Mugli mentoring session, where we will share with you how mentoring can support sustainable leadership. My name is Nadine Asmar. I'm an impact leadership facilitator and coach. And I'm blessed with rich experience as a lead facilitator with Mugli for the past, I think, 9 years. Mugli Mentoring is a specialist mentoring organization aiming to drive economic progress and social change by making effective mentoring available and accessible for entrepreneurs and leaders. We build conducive mentoring environments, empowering leaders to better solve local and global challenges. We design and deliver in-person, online, and blended programs globally, complemented by 13 years of experience delivering programs in emerging, established markets across the Middle East, Africa. We're talking North and Sub-Saharan Africa, Europe, and the UK. Today's session is key theme is to explore the impact of intergenerational mentoring, meaning the impact of mentoring between senior and young leaders as mentor and mentee to each other. How mentoring supports leadership development, sustainable community building in the environmental sector. And all this drawing from the experience of an intergenerational mentoring pair as part of the MAVA Academy here in the room. An intergenerational leadership developer program, MAVA Academy, is run for the environmental leaders. During the session, I will give you some background about the MAVA Academy, then introduce you to our environmental leaders, Blandine Melis and Jamal Hamzeh, who will share their experience with us. Their testimonial will be followed by Q&A, your chance to ask questions, so we really encourage you to do that. Finally, we will share some information about how you can experience the power of mentoring and get involved in Mugli mentoring programs. We do hope that your learning and insights from the session could inspire you to apply it in your own sector, organization, and mentoring relationships. As a start, I would like to first share with you a video introducing you to the MAVA Academy experience, and thank you.
Because MAVA is going to be closing after 2022, we're doing a number of things to prepare for maintaining the impact of all of the work that we've supported over the years beyond our lifetime. We're investing in organizational development, sustainable finance mechanisms, and also in leadership development. And this is our program to do that, to take 120 of MAVA partners and help them on their leadership journey so they can lead conservation into the future.
The first objective of the Academy is to support the development of a new type of leadership, of leaders that are able to collaborate with people different than them, different from sector, different from generation, in order for them to be more innovative. And the second objective of the Academy is to support the emergence of new leaders.
The Academy is a year-long intergenerational blended leadership development experience. We invite a senior and a young professional from the same organisation. The blend of learning that we offer is online and face-to-face. We have a self-assessment, coaching and mentoring.
Mentoring is a one-to-one relationship that allows an individual to liberate their potential and leadership to maximise their impact. At Mugli Mentoring, we create a learning environment supported through the year that allows mentors and mentees to learn and experience mentoring for themselves.
Super, that's a mere taste of what the Academy offers, the magic it has. The MAVA Academy was launched back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, with cohort 1. And now we are super excited to launch this year, cohort 5 and 6. I'm happy to have with me today, Blandine and Jamal, a mentoring pair from cohort 3, which took place in 2020, face-to-face. There are environmental leaders from MAVA Leaders for Nature Academy. They will be sharing today with you the experience of the Academy and its impact on them. Blandine Melis, you can see her here on the screen saying hi. She's our senior professional director at Biosfera Cap Vert. It was while sailing between France and the UK in her childhood that her passion for the sea was born, and the urgency to preserve the oceans has never left her. She studied marine biology, followed by a master's degree in marine environmental bioscience at the University of Marseille. She has the chance to practice her profession in many countries and continents, especially in West Africa, Senegal, Mauritania, Cap Vert, for about 6 years. The diversity of the structures for which she has worked was a great opportunity for her to discover the richness of cultures and the way nature is perceived by each of them. I remember Blandine when the first time we met seated together facing the Dead Sea. I felt humbled to witness the power of vulnerability and humility as a woman who has the courage to accept the call for change, I can feel it, towards your purpose and respecting your own well-being. The courage to take action in your personal life and as a leader in your organization, facing your shadow and working on developing your competence to be the best leader you can be. So I'm happy to have you, Blandine, with us today.
Thank you very much, Nadine. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you all in this session, and it's a pleasure to share also our experience together.
Thank you, Blandine. And also your binôme, your second half, Jamal, our young professional who is a senior project manager at SPNL, Society for the Protection of Nature in Lebanon. She, being a nature lover since her childhood and choosing to spend most of her time outdoor, observing what nature offers has given her the curiosity and drive to learn about the environment. Today, she's an environmental and community development manager with a background in environmental and health studies from the American University of Beirut. Passionate about conservation and sustainable development issues for the past 10 years, she successfully planned, led, and managed a wide range of donor-funded projects related to sustainable land use, management, biodiversity conservation, ecosystem services, human well-being, livelihood, and so on. Currently, she's managing MAVA-funded project under the M6 Cultural Landscape Program implemented across the Mediterranean region by 13 partners. I have experienced one day on her journey, so I spent a day with Jamal meeting the shepherds, the bird watchers, and impact ventures. It was really heartwarming to witness you, Jamal, just your being. That is the true meaning of empathy, care, driven to serve and support from the shepherd, to the big organization and finding solution to their livelihood, especially, of course, in time of crisis. So join me in welcoming Jamal too.
Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Nadine, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you.
Super happy to have you both. Now that you've met Jamal and Blandine, I would like to turn it to both of them and both of you and ask you, please share with us, what were your needs as leaders before joining the Academy? So they've joined the MAVA Academy, so they had needs, obviously, and thoughts before joining. So, Blandine?
Yes, I have to say that when I applied for the MAVA Academy program, my requests, my needs were really strong. Indeed, I was a 40-year-old woman, but a young leader also, because I had never led a team in my 20 years professional career. So I found myself as a director of an NGO of 25 people in a foreign country without knowing the language. So you can imagine that my needs and request was really, really strong. One thing that I remember, it was really important, one important point that I absolutely wanted to avoid to abuse to my authority. It was something that I didn't want to do. So it was one of the points that I want to work with the MAVA Academy. But even if I believe in my ability to observe, to understand and lead, with my common sense, I have to say that the MAVA Academy was really a great support, really.
Thanks.
So for me, before joining the academy, I had some concerns related to my management and decision-making skills. So I wanted to make sure that I'm doing a good job when it comes to managing the team I work with. And I wanted to know whether I was doing effective and wise decisions. Also, I was interested to learn more about leading beyond authority, especially in a new context, with new people from different generation, different gender, and different nationalities, because sometimes such situations can be challenging. Also, before going to the academy, I was trying to find some balance between my personal life and career life, because at a certain period of time, I was working a lot and I didn't have enough time for myself, and this caused me lots of pressure and stress.
Thank you both for sharing that. And knowing how you came with with which, let's say, baggage and needs, how do you describe your experience of the academy once you started the journey?
I can say that the experience itself, actually the academy was a great learning journey. The experience was unique and enriching. It's not like any other experience you get from an ordinary leadership development program. I believe that the safe and open zone that the academy team created for us was key to break the ice between the participants, and it made us get closer to each other. Also, it made us think deeply of our challenges and whatever was holding us back, and gave us the power to share it and discuss it confidently. So, throughout the academy, we had lots of memorable moments, I can say. We laughed, we danced, we cried, we exercised. Even we did like some sort of meditation or some sort of exercises that helped us connect more to ourselves and to each other. And this was very important because it makes the person be able to express himself freely and with no fear of judgment.
Excellent, thanks, Jamal.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, sorry. Did you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yes, I agree with Jamal. It was really a peaceful place to share together. And I have to say also for me, it was important because I'm used to be during the academy, face-to-face, more specifically, I was obliged to come out of my shell. My nature is to be a little bit reserved, but I understood how it was important to share. And also I want to say that as leader, we are used to not to show our vulnerability most of the time. And we try to minimize our doubt, to minimize everything, to be in a good way with everybody most of the time. But during the MAVA Academy, it was really interesting for me because I understand how my vulnerability is normal first, and how I'm able to change my vulnerability to a strength, a really big one and strong one. So I don't want to go to inside the details of the academy, but just to say that globally it was something that it was really an interesting journey in complete peace of mind and in safety condition to be able to share and to learn.
Beautiful. I mean, listening to both of you, these ingredients between the power of vulnerability, discovering, taking time for ourselves, and with a bundle of emotions we shared across that journey. I'm wondering, curious, and I'm sure everyone is, how do you describe your intergenerational relationship? Because there was the MAVA Academy experience, and there is also your intergenerational relationship, so meaning between young and senior leader, being the mentee and mentor. Would you like to describe it for us and share your experience with that, please?
Yeah.
Jamal?
So one of the most important things that I really appreciated about the academy was this integration between the two generations. So in our first face-to-face meeting in Jordan, and in one of the exercises where you, Nadine, and Richard were giving us questions, and each one of us, both the young and the senior professionals, had to reflect on those questions with each other. So in this exercise, we got introduced to everyone, the seniors and the young professionals. So it was great to know and to sense how, despite the difference in the age and the experience, we still have lots in common. From fears to shortcomings and to aspirations and goals. So this was truly relieving, and I think it made the relationship between us as young professionals and the senior professionals more like smoother, more open, and I think it makes the relationship even more efficient. So, and during this exercise, once I talked to Blandine for the first time, I was really impressed by her character and by her work. So, and after that, so you did a perfect matching by matching us together. So I will talk a little bit about the mentoring relationship through this 1 year between me and Blandine. So we used to talk every month, like every month twice. And when there is something urgent, we used to talk like 3 times. And throughout this journey, we developed a strong relationship and friendship. And this friendship was based on trust and love and motivation. I learned a lot from Blandine, and I learned mainly things related to prioritizing my work and taking my time and thinking deeply and from different perspectives before taking any decision. Also, I learned from her how to adapt and work in a challenging environment and in a competitive environment. And I learned how to further trust myself and even how to separate or handle my emotions at work.
Beautiful. Before listening to you, Blandine, just for everyone here, what Jamal is referring to, part of the accelerated relationship that we invite participants, senior and young leaders, to experiment is meet each other. Taking them through, for those who know Joseph Campbell, the Hero Journey is a key reference and key pillar for the journey that we take participants into. Thanks, Jamal. Blandine.
Yes, thanks, Jamal. Stop, I will cry. No, I know now that I'm able to open a mentor company. Thank you. No, yeah, that's right. It was really a good match, and I would like to thank the Mowgli team and MAVA Academy team also, because it's really important to be able to communicate in a good way together, and it was the case with Jamal. We do not have the same personality for sure, but we found some matches bond together, and we have a good connection. So it was really interesting, and it was really interesting also because we are able to go deeply in our relationship. For sure, our experience together took me back to my own experience 15 years ago. Yes, that's right. And I found some strong similarity, as I told you, and it was really great to be able to share and to support her. I have to say that before we started working together, I was a little bit worried because I want to be sure that I wasn't playing a role of psychologist. I do not know anything about that. It's not my work, and it wasn't my role. So I really wanted to keep my place of mentor, even if I didn't know anything about mentor and mentoree. So, but soon, and also because the MAVA Academy and the Mugli team support me on that, we found our place, professional workspace together, despite the fact that we have a lot of personal confidence. But it's one of the points that I want to share with you, to keep the mentor place and not to be the best friend or psychologist. But it wasn't the case. I think so, Jamal. I hope so. I was also impressed by the Jamal maturity and her ability to adapt her work despite the difficulties in Lebanon, the COVID difficulties also, and some professional tension. So she kept always a professional attitude, and it was really great between us to avoid any strange line between friends and mentor-mentee. So it was really great to keep this professional relationship. For sure, as you say, Jamal, sometimes I was a little bit disappointed because you asked me something and I wasn't able to support you because I didn't know, because I do not have the reflection, I do not have the time. So I decided, I said, okay, we will speak in a few days. So I decided to search by myself or to ask for the Mugli team to find a way to support you. For example, I remember that you told me sometimes I want to react too quickly if we have some difficulties or conflict with someone. So I know that because 20 years ago I was more like this, but now with my maturity, I feel better to say, okay, slow down, think about that, keep in mind, and we will try to reflect together. A few points like this, and it was really interesting for me also because I have to think about what I need now to support her. So it was also a perfect exchange. So thank you. I will open my mentor company tomorrow morning.
Beautiful. We're all enrolling. Thank you, Blandine and Jamal. And what you mentioned just now, and it's re-emphasizing that mentoring is not therapy, but therapeutic. And the beauty of you sharing experience, being there for each other, is so rich. And doing so and going through that long-term relationship, how has mentoring impacted the way you lead in your organization, particularly in the environmental sector, Blandine?
I do not know exactly if it's a MAVA Academy training or I evaluate every day. But I try, first of all, I try to change my behavior. I put some specific things to change a little bit in my organization. For example, I am naturally impatient and direct. And I understand via MAVA Academy how it's important to wait for the good moment and the right situation, even in my personal life also. But I understand that take time, and if you want to react, please wait. Good moment, good situation, right situation. Because my time, even if I'm really impatient and direct, my time is not the time of all the team of all my team members, and it's really important to respect that. We also, I try to always, I need to be empathetic and understand the personality and expectation for each member of my team. It's really, really important to have an interconnection between personal and professional. And I let the personal relationship enter in my professional, and I think it's probably better and deeper. I recognize also that some days I'm not ready to be a good leader, and never mind. That's it. This is a life. Sometimes you are not wake up very well in the morning. You have some problem at home. So on this day, I accept that I'm not a leader. Well, not every day, for sure. But I don't take some important decision. I will avoid any confusion or difficulties in my team, because I understand how they trust on me and how I need to be the same, I have to say. So sometimes I take some distance, and it's probably better. I understood also the importance of the group participation and complementarity. Most of the time I never make decision without consulting the relevant team member. It's really important to express the trust and recognize the value of each individual. Of course, we will lose time sometimes to ask, what do you think, and everything, but it was really important. I understood that, because we have to, I think we have to encourage each member of the team to give the best of themselves and to go on the same direction. And finally, I want to say that I put in place some tools, really small tools. For example, we create a WhatsApp group inside the organization. We are able to share some picture from, because I'm working for biodiversity conservation. So the biodiversity team on the field sends some picture from daughters, seabirds and everything. So we are able to share together, and sometimes some funny things. We are able to share together and to build a strong link inside the organization. One thing also I increase in, because it by the past individual meeting wasn't exist. So I create a space every beginning of the year, individual evaluation meeting, and of course keep it confidential. I increase also, and I decided to write some clear description job and to share description job with every member of the team. So for that, everybody knows the place, responsibility, and role of each of them. So I think that, yeah, it's more cohesion, participation together on the same way. And it's probably one thing that I learned during the MAVA Academy. And finally, I want to say that I found the good balance, I hope so, the good balance between personal and professional interaction, something that really I understood, and I try to do it every day.
Thank you so much, Blandine, and for sharing so naturally, authentically your change there. Like you said, how with time we grow in maturity and learning, and how the connection, how that academy, that experience, this connection, this sharing together. Jamal, how was it for you? How did it impact your work and your organization, your sector?
Mentoring has, I can say that mentoring has enhanced my art of listening and taught me how to be a team player by further empowering other team members in order to bring the best out of them. It also improved my critical thinking skills, whereby I question everything before jumping into the solution. And in case of challenges, I distance myself in order to, and take my time in order to have clarity, objectivity, and diversity in the solutions I come up with. Also, mentoring increased my self-awareness, and it enabled me to monitor and evaluate myself on regular basis. And I think this is very, very important. And also, I can say that mentoring has expanded my network, and it facilitated me building relationships and being able to prosper and to act naturally in cultural diverse situations.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jamal. And thank you for sharing your leadership development that we witnessed, that we saw, and how your relationship as a mentor-mentee helped you to pause, reflect, be more aware, and make the best of that international, regional community that you've been learning from each other. If you think of how the mentoring impacted not only your organizational, if you want, how you lead in the organization, but also how does it impact your leading your way of leading your life? What would you say?
For me, and with all of this, with all of the mentoring journey, like I think that what applies on the career level also applies on the personal level. So I learned that running into rapid solutions and quick escapes doesn't lead into effective results. Nevertheless, self-awareness and taking your time and questioning yourself. And most importantly, I learned that identifying the main problem or challenge and the desired outcome and result is very important for proper decision making. I also learned that setting short-term and long-term goals is very important. And again, pausing and reflecting and evaluating where you stand against those goals is even more important, because this gives the person the chance to get out of his comfort zone, to continuously improve himself and push his limits. And finally, I think that inner management is very important for external management. So sometimes we see like a perfect managers that as if they know everything, but they are not good with themselves. So I think like in order to be able to manage your external world, you have to be able to manage yourself first. So inner management coming from a grounded and balanced place is very important.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jamal. How about you, Blandine? How does mentoring
I think that Jamal summarized everything. I don't want to repeat, but for my personal life, I have to say as a mother of a... Hello, did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
My connection is not really good. Okay, sorry. I just want to say that Jamal said everything, so I do not have to add anything. Just to say that I am a mother of a young child, and so I'm a leader. So I try in my personal life with my daughter to promote a participate and dialogue approach to avoid any confusion and conflict, but it's probably the main challenge of my leadership life, probably.
I completely hear you. Practicing mentoring and active listening with our kids is not always as simple as doing it and being actively listener and being a mentor to someone you just met. Thank you, Blandine and Jamal, for that rich sharing. Do you have any last message about the Yamava Academy experience and kind of how mentoring specifically impacted your life? Any last message to the listener here in the room?
Yeah. Shall I go?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
So for me, mentoring was an eye-opener on both the career and personal levels. It facilitated my personal growth, and it further developed my leadership, management, and communication skills. Even now, I'm applying for a master's degree to improve my career and to have higher impact. So I encourage all of the people to invest in mentoring opportunities, especially nowadays in times of uncertainty. So we need actually resilient leaders and strong leaders. So I believe that mentoring is very important for this.
Beautiful, thank you, Jamal. And it's still, I still have your word, working on our inner self, and it will reflect in the outer world. Thank you, Jamal. Blandine, any your last message to the people listening here in the room?
Yes, the connection is not really good here. Yeah, just to add that before to start the MAVA Academy, I thought I will be trained on leadership technique as traditional training course. I thought the adventure will be quite theoretical, and I have to say that I was quite skeptical. But finally, I found a space of exchange very, very competent, very targeted also, and very human on the same time. And I think that I learned more than I think now. So it was really a great experience, really, really great. And I'm sure that support me a lot as a leader.
Thank you, Blandine. And listening to both of you is heartwarming for sure. And I feel this is not the end, as you're still in connection with each other. Now that we heard, we have people in the room, that we heard Blandine and Jamal's experience, that's your chance to ask them questions, understand maybe more of what they went through, what they've learned. So feel free to unmute. So I see Andrew and I see some on the chat. So would you like to unmute yourself, Andrew, and ask a question? Maybe after we'll have Hester. Yes, Andrew, what's your question? Please go ahead.
I was wondering a bit about intergenerational issues. Were they really an issue?
So your question to Jamal and Blandine, is there an issue between intergenerational leaders? Thank you for your question. Jamal, Blandine, do you feel there is an issue? And I remember when we were in Jordan, we're discussing, you remember the last day when we were discussing what are the issues between intergenerational leaders? Would you like to share? Thank you very much for the question.
Pleasure.
I think sometimes I'll talk from the young professionals side. So sometimes in certain contexts, and if there is a gap in the age or in the experience, young people might find themselves overwhelmed with seniors. And I do believe definitely that seniors have lots of experience and expertise and everything, and also the young professionals. And actually they complete, both of them, they complete each other. But sometimes in certain situations, young people might feel overwhelmed or not being able to express themselves freely because of this, because maybe the experience that the seniors have is bigger. So so this will create like a concern, we can say. But with the proper communication, with having this open relationship between both, and this safe zone and respect between both, I think this can be overcome easily. Also, one point, sometimes, and for sure, the senior professionals see things from many different perspectives. Maybe juniors or young people don't see all of the image. Maybe they get stuck in one side only. So also, here is the importance of mentoring, because I learned, for example, that, okay, I might be right from this side, but also the seniors have different, maybe they are thinking from different perspectives and from different backgrounds. So I think this integration is very important to make things smoother.
Beautiful. Very precise, and that reflects one of the many conversations we had during the program and across it. Thank you, Jamal. Very helpful. Blandine?
Yes, thank you, Jamal, because I think you summarized the situation. Sometimes that's right. We forgot humility, and we thought that we know because we have 20 years more than you of the junior one. But on the same time, I have to say that I would like to say that it was really important for us to know what's happened in your brain now and what is the next generation. So it was interesting also. It wasn't really an issue for the senior, but I recognize that we sometimes we forgot humility.
That's beautiful. I mean, to serve the best level of, I mean, the higher level of leadership is to be at service of the other. And with a lot of experience, the shadow of experience and maturity could be less humility, and here to be aware of ourselves and be humble enough to understand the other and hold each other's hand. I see a question in the chat from Heather asking, you refer to the participants being junior and senior, not necessarily mentee and mentor. Is this a key aspect of the scheme? Would you like to answer, or would you like me to answer the question? Yeah, Jamal, go ahead.
I didn't get the question.
So the question, because we said it's intergenerational, we mentioned you being, for example, the young professional, Blandine was a senior professional in the group, like the 30 participants, so it was half-half. Half was junior and half was senior. And the question is it necessarily the young junior, the senior professional are mentors and the young professional were mentee? In that particular program, it was. So the young professional were the mentee and the senior professional were the mentor. Yet doesn't necessarily mean they were younger in age. It's not the age as reference. It could, I mean, generally it was, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes a mentor was same age or younger than his mentee or her mentee. So yeah. I hope it answers your question. We still have space for maybe 2 or 3 questions to Jamal and Blandine. You're welcome. Do you have any question for them on their intergenerational leadership, on how mentoring contributed, or anything you're curious to know about the experience in the academy? Did you okay, did we do reverse mentor? Great question, thank you, Sylviane. So Jamal, Blandine, going through, so you started as being the mentor and mentee, and so it was, you said, the relationship. Did you experience reverse mentoring? Meaning at certain
No,
point?
we didn't. We didn't, but it could be really interesting. See, of course. Sometimes that's right, because we are used to speak together frequently, and sometimes that's right but it's more in a friendly area. It's not really on the mentee and mentor relationship, but it could be interesting. Yes, but I'm able to have some support to Jamal also. I do not have the feeling that I'm on a high level from her. We are on the same level and we share together. But it could be interesting. I just want to reply to the question before. Did you say just before from Tracy? No, it's not Tracy. what is the next? Well, what is next for both of you in your mentoring journey? I think we will, and it was the case. We met together, and we didn't know. We met together to the IUCN Congress in Marseille, and I didn't know that Jamal will go. And it was really perfect because we decided to discuss and for personal, professional, and it was really great. So I think we will continue. I would like to meet Jamal again, not virtually if it's possible, but I think we will keep this link. It's not just for a few months during the MAVA Academy, and after that we say, okay, ciao, bye-bye, we play the game. And no, I think it's a strong relationship for the future, for professional and personal also.
That's beautiful to hear. It's beautiful to hear that. And like you mentioned earlier, you have like Sylviane mentioned, you have an adult-to-adult relationship. And referring to the question, did you have reverse mentoring? In a sense of, did you learn things from Jamal?
Yes, for sure. I learned about, and I told that about her capacity and maturity. Sometimes I say, wow, she's amazing. I learned about the capacity of adaptation. I saw that in different circumstances, in different difficulty. Yes, of course, I learned a lot with her.
Wonderful. We still have two more questions. So the first one, how have you collaborated differently with people from other sectors or generation or background changed since the MAVA Academy? So how have you collaborated differently with people from other sector, generation, background have changed since the MAVA Academy?
Globally, I have to say it's difficult to reply for this question, because if I focus more about my training in my organization or in my personal life, I do not know what I use with the other sector. But I have to say that I am definitely more into the observation before reacting. I'm waiting. I try to have a big and interesting picture of the situation before to reply.
Beautiful.
For me, I think my collaboration got more mature, and I think I got more open in networking and relationship building. And definitely, I feel more confident about sharing my ideas and thoughts freely and objectively, despite the sector or the nationality or the age.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jamal. And I'll ask Claire. We have a question from Sylviane. Did you have any reporting and also monitoring of some indicators for the MAVA Academy?
Yes, brilliant. Thanks, Nadine, and thanks for your question. Yes, we did. So we had two kind of levels of reporting indicators. One were for monitoring, in terms of making sure that we were supporting the relationships to make sure that, whether there was any issue to resolve, whether they needed our support. And I suppose in some respect that answers Heather's question in the chat. Yes, we were providing kind of check-in, drop-in sessions for mentees and mentors, as well as having peer support, so coordinating peer calls. And so, yes, the monitoring data in terms of indicators, we were checking, basically flagging. But in terms of impact, we were monitoring kind of the mentoring relationships that have continued beyond the academy years, beyond the end of the program. We've been monitoring kind of how senior professionals are increasingly collaborating with young professionals in their professional environments, as well as how confident young professionals feel in approaching senior professionals with different projects and initiatives or in other ways. So we've been really monitoring, this confidence to collaborate as within the context of intergenerational mentoring, as well as the continuation of mentoring relationships beyond the academy year.
Beautiful. Thank you, Claire. And by the way, Claire is our the MAVA Academy program lead, part of Mugli, and she has been pivotal to the success of the program. Thanks, Claire. And I guess your answer also answers Heather's question about the ongoing support, which included peer calls, check-in, refresher sessions, and different gathering on and offline. I guess with that last question, we still have 8 minutes to close the session. Would love to hear from you. Please write in the chat. Listening to Jamal and Blandine and Claire, what are the key takeaways from today's session? So I'd love to hear from you. Just write in the chat. What's your key takeaway from listening to Blandine and Jamal experience part of the MAVA Academy and how mentoring impacted their journey? Well, while really thanking you for being with us today, as you saw, the session showcased how mentoring in collaboration and co-creation with key partner organizations really served as an effective means to address the needs, as you know, in the environmental sector. It contributed to building a sustainable community that Blandine and Jamal shared with you and how important that was for them, hence breaking the cycle of loneliness, being leader, young and senior in the region, facing the global challenges and working at the intersection of human and nature. For Jamal and Blandine, we have witnessed different perspectives of the MAVA Academy experience, with a special emphasis on the impact of mentoring in the environmental context, and really again and again demonstrating how trusted human-centric relationship and conversation are essential to building leaders' resilience, skills development, compassion, and intergenerational collaboration. I would like to hand it over to Claire. She will share with you more about Mowgli Mentoring Program and upcoming offers. On to you, Claire.
Thank you very much, Nadine. So just a little bit about Mowgli Mentoring. So we at Mowgli Mentoring focus on effective mentoring and making it available and accessible for entrepreneurs and leaders so that they can better solve local but also global challenges. And in the last 13 years, we've been delivering bespoke end-to-end mentoring programs, which is probably the Mowgli mentoring experience that we're known for and that's accredited by EMCC and one that you may have heard of. But in the recent years, we've been seeing a growing interest from organizations such as business incubators, universities, or entrepreneur support organizations who want to set up their own mentoring program. And this interest is not always matched by the knowledge and experience on how to make mentoring programs work really well. And this has led in some cases to kind of mediocre mentoring, which can do more harm than good. So now we're also helping organizations who want to set up their own successful mentoring programs. And we're doing this through our evidence-based course called Run an Effective Mentoring Program. Now, this course runs twice a year, and the next cohort starts in March 2022. So if you're interested in that and you'd like to hear more information, the registration and kind of interest for this cohort starts over the next few weeks. So if you're interested, please make sure to check out our website if you know of any organizations that may well be interested. And the third thing that we offer is, as many of you probably know, mentor training and mentee preparation are key to effective mentoring relationships. So another part of our work consists in training mentors and preparing mentees to get more from their mentoring relationships, as we know this is so crucial for them to be effective. So to support this goal, we offer a variety of workshops, including mentoring essential courses, which is currently open for registration until the 23rd of November. So those are the offerings that we're sharing at the moment as Mowgli Mentoring. And if you have any more information, if you want to find out any more information or you're interested in any of these or even the MAVA Academy, then please do reach out to us at hello@mowgli.org.uk. And you can also head up to our website and subscribe to our newsletter or follow us on many of the social media channels. And we'll be keeping you posted on our upcoming services, programs, and mentoring resources. So we really look forward to hearing from you there. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Claire. And as asked by Alicia, if you want to join to become a mentor mentee, that's the place to go. Super exciting opportunities coming ahead for the first time this year, open to all leaders across the globe. It's an opportunity to grow. And I mean, I have been witnessed and part of it for the past years, and it's a really magical experience, the least we can say. And where it's grounded with human-centric relationship and approach. I really believe, to close, on the importance of rebalancing as mentors and leaders, rebalancing the relationship between society and business, purpose, profit, individual, organization, the rational and emotional, and of course, the nature and human. And instead of saying nature and human, we had a beautiful conversation in preparation for the session to say, I really would like to invite you to think, to move from nature and human to our nature as human. And this is reflecting as being leaders, and this is reflected in our mentoring conversation. So thanks again for the EMCC for this opportunity. Thank you, Rosie, for your support. And a special thanks to Claire, our chef d'orchestre, who has been exceptional, and with our inspiring leaders, Blandine and Jamal. Thank you all for joining and enriching our session with your presence. And please reach out if you need any further info, anything else.